Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Holloway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
Field Reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
I love that song, kids. Welcome to Drinkin' Bros Fake News, bringing you the realest, fakest news of the week. There's some fun ones this week.
Yeah.
I'm excited, D'Anthony.
Same.
I know you are. I know you are.
It's kind of born this way.
I like to put that clip of that sentence against Lady Gaga's Born This Way and just have both of you guys read it against each other. And I think that would make my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've, she and I have been planning a duet.
Oh, have you guys?
No.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
She would never talk to somebody like me.
I think she would.
No.
B. Coops had a beard like that in A Star Is Born.
No, I don't mean that. Do you remember, I think it was like September of 2020, she released some like weird music or some weird like TikTok clip where she's pretending to be a Southerner and making fun of them and look at my big truck, I'm a fucking asshole or whatever.
No way.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I don't.
I mean, I do the same thing almost every day.
Sure.
But, you know.
Sure.
We had fun with the truck crowd during Snowpocalypse.
Yeah, but I am.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I am a Southerner, so it's like. And by the way, if I were Bradley Cooper, I would have killed her then myself.
Maybe, but
Oh no, not maybe.
She's kind of hot, dude. There's something sexy about Gaga, dude.
There's not literally nothing.
Yes,
sexy
there
about it,
is.
no.
She has how many? Bob, how many Instagram followers does Gaga have?
That's what makes you want to fuck her?
No, it's not at all. But I'm just saying, I'm not alone in this. If she has fucking 80 followers, then yeah. All right, it's me and 79 other dudes.
Well, she's one of the most popular musicians in the world. It doesn't have anything to do with her being hot.
She's pretty sexy, dude.
Lizzo's got quite a few followers as well.
We'll get to her in a minute.
53 million.
Yeah.
I find her, I think Lady Gaga's like attractive.
Yeah.
But like she's not like classically attractive or anything, but I enjoy her as a performer and she is like still attractive. So
you know what
I'm
she
into
is,
it.
dude? And this is a guess. She seems like that because I don't know her. I've never met her. She seems like that buddy tomboy who would just be down to like drink some beers and watch the game. Was it at the Mets game? Did she show up at the Mets game and start chugging beers? I think there's a clip of it actually, if memory serves me correctly. And therefore, yeah, I'm Team Gaga, dude. I'll do that. I'm not a fan of her politics, Anthony. But
I don't really care about her politics.
I'll go party with her. Where's she at? That's it.
This is her doing Mets shit at a Mets game.
Dude. And she walked into the fucking locker room with the bra on. Look at that. Double burden people, dude. And a bandana?
She looks like a fucking idiot.
Let's go. That looks like a fun time for the evening.
I don't like the Mets part of it, but otherwise.
Me neither. But she was born that way. Bob?
She was. Well
You're
played.
welcome, dude. You're welcome. She was born a Mets fan. She was born in New York, so what are you going to do?
By the way, I'm still hyped that you got Maitland Ward to laugh with Boy Meets Hole yesterday.
I can't wait for that to come out. Boy
Yeah.
Meets Hole. You know how many people DM me about that episode yesterday? And they said, dude, the second it was over, all I did was look at her porn the rest of the evening, and it is quite enjoyable. I understand it. I understand. Congratulations to you guys for discovering a new superstar in your life to jack off to. And we did that for you. D'Anthony and I did that for you. And that's not part of the news. That's just part of life that we're giving you. We're not only podcast hosts, we're educators, and you're getting a sex education with Maitland Ward. There was a lot of dicks in some of those videos.
Speaking of a lot of dicks in videos, the Queen's cause of death was released.
What was it, fentanyl?
No, old age.
I never would have guessed that.
That old age is not a cause of death.
Yeah, it's a big cause of death.
Cardiac arrest is a cause of pneumonia.
Right.
Those are causes of death. Not old age.
Yeah, just fucking.
That means we don't know she's just old. That they didn't even do an autopsy. They just looked at her like, she's old.
Do you think there's something suspicious about her death?
I think it's fentanyl.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, she was definitely injecting it probably between her toes, right?
Man, or just snorting it in the bathroom.
Maybe, I don't know. At that age, with all the hair in your nose and shit, I don't know if that's an efficient way to consume it. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
What do you got to say?
Yeah, you're about to chime in there, Bob.
You go butthole at that point. It's loose. You can fit a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need one of those bendy straws, right? So you put a little bit in the end of the straw, you tuck it up in your beehole, and you just blow it up there.
Like a blow dart.
You need that if you're like a normal person like you or I, but when you have dozens of footmen.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks had an assistant that just used to blow cocaine in her asshole.
Yep.
All the time, and
Two queens.
Sounds
right
like a
there.
dream job.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest with you. If I saw that one roll through LinkedIn or what are the Indeed, and they were like, "Hey, do you like cocaine? Also, are you a huge Stevie Nicks fan? Yes. Would you like to blow it into her asshole on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just boxes getting checked left
Now,
and right.
there's actually a couple of theories in the audience here about how she died.
The Queen? Mm-hmm. Okay, fire away.
Well, one of them isn't a theory about death so much, but it says the Queen likes to snowball.
What the fuck is that?
Snowballing is when you come in a girl's mouth and she spits it back into your mouth.
Oh, God damn it, dude. I didn't need to know that phrase today.
You didn't know, how long have you been alive?
33 years. So, no, I didn't. I've never heard it.
Let's not get bogged down here, okay? Benjamin Love says she died of queen pies.
Well, queen pies, yeah.
Which is a nice
That was a
turn of
nice
phrase.
callback. We had that in that show, yeah.
Todd Welch says so many organs failed, they just gave up on a cause. That's probably the real answer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Joey Hinton says the Vax got her. Probably not.
No.
Chucky Larms, which is Lucky Charms spelled weird.
Okay.
Queen died from panal, likely.
Oof. Painful anal.
I think that's there's something to that. Probably like her fucking lung fell out of her asshole or something after she got prolapsed.
Yeah.
Now, my guess is, because they won't release a real cause of death, obviously, her corgis sensed she was no longer an alpha and could no longer help the pack, and they turned on her and feasted.
Yeah, but
they're still alive.
The body's been going around, so they must have just been nipping at her legs and shit.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the story about the dachshunds in Oklahoma that ate that old lady?
Yep.
Wait, the corgis didn't get buried with her?
No.
She's not a fucking pharaoh.
But
Yes, she is. They should have been. They should have buried those dogs alive with Queen Elizabeth.
I thought she asked for it.
Yeah, I did too. I guess it's inhumane or something. There was a story about Michael Vick. I can't really remember what it was.
Oh, he was
but people
drowning
weren't
dogs.
Amped. Yeah, people weren't amped about
him drowning dogs.
Yeah. And I don't think they were amped about the Queen wanting to bury those dogs alive. I was fine with it. They were a part of her life.
To sound like a royal autopsy performer here, the dogs died of weakness.
Yeah.
Poor jeans. Chanandler Bong says Queen. I thought she had AIDS. Probably Chota Boy, which is one of the characters from Orgasmo.
Okay.
Which is a really funny movie.
Yeah. Trey and Matt Parker. Or Trey Stone and Matt Parker. Yeah.
The rainbow fentanyl got her.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the fentanyl, to be honest. Otherwise, they would say something more clear than what they have so far.
Somebody else had said that she had. They saw her riding a one of those one wheels.
Unicycle?
No, it's like a little hoverboard. It's got one huge wheel. Pop that up there. Goes about 35 miles an hour, and she was rolling around on that.
What do you think? She
yard.
ran into something?
I think so. Pop it up on screen there, Bob. There you go. That's it. So she was on this for a while, and took a nasty little spill.
First of all, I just want to go ahead and say, fuck this company. They're
Why?
the worst company of all time.
You don't like them?
If you don't like Apple, if you don't like John Deere, if you don't like Harley, this is the worst company on the world when it comes to right to repair. If you unplug the battery, it bricks the entire unit, which then they have to go for and manually reset. There's every single piece of those are serialized. So if you work on it at all, replace anything, repair anything, it shuts down.
Have you ever had one?
I've rode them. I have friends who have them. They're fun.
Okay.
No
Yeah.
free ads.
Ads, yeah, they're not on here.
Well, this is almost like a reverse ad at this point.
Sure is.
He's just been trashing the company the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
It killed the Queen, but it killed the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably killed the Queen. She probably took out the battery, popped it back in. She was going for a nice cruise at 35, then the battery cut out. She tumbled over.
It's like $2,000 for the sale. I'm not going to spend $2,000 to show everybody how uncoordinated I am. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Well, also, some of the models had a defect where it wouldn't stop. So you just get on, and
That's
then
sweet.
it keeps going. Because normally you lean back to brake,
Yeah.
and they have the internal brakes on there. So you're just going 20 miles an hour down the road.
I think we need to
Nothing you can do.
we need to replace all of our cars, our bikes, our fucking scooters, everything with a system of pneumatic tubes
Yeah.
to shoot me through like that old container at the fucking bank back in the days. I'm tired of this shit.
Well, they're trying to with the hole underground where they're going to kind of shoot you through the hole.
Well, there's actually a new. I don't know when it's going to debut yet, but there's a new a super jet that'll be able to fly from New York to London in 80 minutes.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
That'd
That's
be
a 6-hour
fun.
flight.
Oh yeah. It'd be fun if it happens in our lifetime. Most of this shit doesn't come to fruition. If I get one more email from the Cybertruck, that's
No,
never going to come out.
I've seen Rivians around.
No,
A lot of them.
Rivian has. But remember that Cybertruck we ordered? Never got that fucking thing.
I don't remember any of
The
that.
Hummer never got that
Oh, yeah,
goddamn
the-
thing.
the
It's
Hummers.
been 2.5 years on each of those fucking things. Nothing. Got nothing. They're like, oh my god, so amazing. I think they just built one and they just keep taking pictures of it somewhere. And they're like,
Probably, yeah.
It's rad. Bigger loss for you, Coolio last night or the Queen?
I don't give a fuck about either one of those people.
Why? Both of them changed the world.
Explain to me how Queen, whatever her name was, changed
Elizabeth?
the world. Yeah.
She did some stuff over there and kept it all under control. And she reigned the whole land of England for, 87 years?
You sound like Kamala Harris talking right now.
She did. She reigned the whole land.
Word salad with no fucking
She
point.
watched over people from above and make sure everyone was safe in that land.
She had Princess Diana murdered.
Well, who's to say she didn't deserve it?
Most people.
I don't know.
No.
We weren't living in the goddamn castle. Maybe she did deserve it.
What?
And Coolio, Gangster's Paradise, #1 song for an entire year. How do you beat that?
Well, he wasn't even the best person on that track. The guy singing is better than him. And I don't even know who it is.
He was good. He sounds like CeeLo. I think his name is Liv. L-I-V.
He does sound
Like
a
the
lot
Live
like
Tour.
CeeLo, yeah.
They named a golf tour after him, so apparently he was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But R.I.P. Coolio. It's been a rough morning.
I did enjoy the old Coolio albums because it was at that time in the 80s and 90s when all the rap albums had little sketches in the middle of them and shit. Mm-hmm. Like Eazy-E did it on all of his albums too. It was really fucking funny.
Oh, you like the sketches?
Yeah.
I was never a fan of the sketches.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
I'm never a fan of him. But R.I.P. Coolio. We're thinking about you. You and the Queen. It's pretty much onesie-twosie, and you guys are even on whose death was more important in the last couple weeks. And we recognize that. We want to take time out of our day to recognize your greatness on the show. First story here is Biden is now funding illegal immigration, which is awesome. The Biden administration awarded $41 million in taxpayer-backed government contracts to a new liberal nonprofit working to help illegal immigrants fight deportation amid the escalating border crisis. I have not heard this story yet, and I don't even know this group. The Acacia, is that how we're pronouncing that? Acacia?
Yeah.
The Acacia Center for Justice, a Washington, D.C.-based nonprofit born from a partnership between the Vera Institute of Justice and Capital Area Immigrants' Rights, has received...
That's CARE, by the way, who is, had links to the Muslim Brotherhood and other Islamic fundamentalist groups in the past.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. They've received 6 legal service contracts from the Department of Justice that carried start dates of September 1st, according to records. The multi-million-dollar contracts began just months after the under-the-radar nonprofit received a July 29 determination letter from the Internal Revenue Service, which stated the group's effective date of tax exemption was December 29th, 2021. Right. Something's going on here, Dan.
Yeah, so they get their 501c3 license on July 29th, backdated for some reason to December 29th of this year. Then they immediately receive a $40 million contract from the government to provide legal services for illegal immigrants. Mm-hmm. So every single part of that is wrong, right?
Yes.
Like, was that their hope? It's like Fear and Loathing on Las Vegas, where he's like, we've done so much fucked up shit. It's like, we've done so much fucked up shit that our only real hope is that it's so crazy. No one in a position to bring the hammer down could possibly believe we actually did it. So they're just trying to pile it all onto one thing. So people are like, nah.
Yeah. With this, I know why the December 29th thing obviously is for taxes. So they're saying they probably started it then so they could beat taxes for this upcoming year as well, and really fuck over everybody all at once with this bullshit.
Well, it means that they had non-government capital before that date.
Correct.
That's what that means.
Correct.
And they don't want to pay tax on it.
Yeah.
Where'd that money come from?
That's what I want to know. I was just about to ask that.
Probably Saudi Arabia, if I had to guess, because they take a lot of money from there in Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. But this is one of the more bizarre things I've ever seen happen. To be honest, it's like not only is the administration propping up an invasion of our country, they're now forcing all of us to pay for the fucking legal services for the people who are invading the goddamn country.
Yeah.
To such a degree that Bill Clinton even yesterday was like, hey, you guys need to probably slow that shit down a little bit.
Yeah.
He used his last 7 breaths to say that because he's this close to death.
The odd thing to me is we've been paying for this shit forever. So why hide it, I guess, at this point?
Well, one of our friends was just in New York, or still there now, had a bunch of hotels reserved for an event.
Yeah.
And got an email or phone call or something that, hey, all of your reservations have been canceled. What? Why? Oh, the government mandated it. This is in New York City. So they're canceling people's hotel reservations now so they can put illegal immigrants in those hotels at New York City taxpayer expense.
Correct. And nobody in New York seems to care.
No.
They'll all vote Democrat.
Didn't they do that with the ones that they got sent up there?
Yeah.
No. It started a month before that shit.
Yeah,
happened.
because
they've been putting them in hotels,
right?
Yeah.
This
Santa
busing
ones or whatever.
Yeah, the busing has been going on to New York City for a while. Because one of the hotels originally was called the Row. Bob, you can look that one up. The Row Hotel in New York City. I've actually stayed there. Now, I heard that entire hotel is now for immigrants. So they're using the entire thing. But my question with the other ones is, if you're canceling reservations, does that mean you bought out the entire thing or just floors for immigrants? And then are people like normal people just cruising around with these people who just got off the bus, these illegals? And it's like, oh, hey, I'll see you at the buffet tomorrow?
I mean, I guess you could pretend to be illegal and stay in a fucking nice New York City hotel for a couple of weeks. If you're like just a Mexican American person or any American that's of Latin descent, you could be like, oh, no habla.
Yeah,
No,
walk in there and they're like, sir, what are you doing here? To say, okay,
Just say you're from Venezuela.
okay.
Yeah.
And you get a free hotel room
Yeah.
on New York City taxpayer dime. I mean,
Which you should actually do that.
no.
You should, yes.
No.
Yeah. Go ahead. If you're up there, go ahead and do it. Giorgio would do it. I bet you could get away with it, Giorgio.
I'm going to be out of the office next week.
No New York trip.
He's squatting in a hotel up
Stop
there.
by and see Rob for a second, you know?
Yeah, why not, dude?
Yeah, but it's
Why
like, oh man, this is pretty fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
again, in all the ways that something can be fucked up, it's fucked up because your major events are happening or people are going on vacation or for business or whatever the fuck to New York and book hotel rooms at a locked-in rate, and then the government just can say no after you've already paid for childcare, for your dogs to get put away, for airline tickets, for making reservations, whatever the fuck else.
Yeah.
The government can say, no, we're not doing that. What we're going to do is take people invading the country and take care of them first.
Yeah.
Dan, I've got a question, though. So,
Sure.
is this kind of more just like a line item thing? Like they had a city council meeting or whoever decided upon this, and then they allocate a certain amount of dollars, and then I don't know what they have to do to be able to take this business over and use it for that purpose. Do they just send them a flat fee from something that's been approved earlier on?
That's a
kind
good
of thing?
question. I mean, at the federal level, you could use the Defense Production Acts and things like that, right, to force private companies to do certain things. You can use naval regulations and the Coast Guard to any boat that's in the United States, the Coast Guard and Navy can take it whenever they want and use it for their purposes and so on and so forth. I don't know about inland private businesses. I've never heard of anything like
And
this.
another question is, could possibly these corporations be complicit in this somehow? They would prefer this because then they get some sort of depreciation or bigger tax benefit later, or full occupancy rate for extended period of time.
So you mean like would private business collude with the government to fuck over people?
In this specific instance, yes.
Now you've heard of social media, right?
Maybe.
Sweet. So the answer is obviously yes.
Yeah, and if you're the hotel in this one, like let's say the Row, for example, your goal as a hotel is to be at capacity all year long if you can. It's not realistic, but now it is. So
they're hitting that now.
Yeah, you would want this now, and because like even again having stayed there, knowing where this is, I was like, man, why would they do that? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. You're guaranteed to be booked for the entire year, and then the people are paying for it. So you don't give a shit.
No, and there has to be some other incentive as well, besides just the fact that they get that money.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. And then how long they're going to stay there. Do we have an answer on that? How long these people are actually going to stay in hotels in New York City?
No.
Because if it's forever, then great.
I think they're just going to turn that into Section 8 housing now.
In the middle of the city?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So all the hotels in Manhattan are now fucking Section 8 housing.
Yeah. Look, a lot of people are moving. They're sick of what's going on there, and the crime and all that shit is out of control. And I'm just glad it's in somebody else's backyard instead of our own right now. So at least you can see it. You can see what's happening and be like, all right, great. Is it fun? Then let's not have fucking sanctuary cities anymore. Let's not do that.
It doesn't seem like people really care, though, to be honest. Like, if you look at the polling, and we'll see how accurate it is in November, I guess. But if you look at the polling, people do seem pissed off about that issue, but they're still supporting these leftist candidates who are running for office.
Right, but do they not care? Are they just not televising or writing about it? And that's what I can't figure out.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far in the sand people keep their heads buried these days.
I think it's deep, and here's why. Like California, just living there for all those fucking years, you saw the politics just destroy that state as the years and years went on there. At least I did, and everybody else. Obviously, we see the homelessness and all that other shit that's going on there. But I think people believe in their ideals so much that they don't want to be wrong about their own party. So they would rather just ignore all of these problems and step over the homeless people when they walk out of their $2.5 million houses in Venice and go on about their day, rather than to admit they were wrong in who they voted for.
Well, to be quite honest, would you rather step over homeless people in L.A. or live in, like, fucking Missouri? You know what I mean?
Not a bad question.
Yeah. Bob, you've got the answer there.
Yeah, probably LA. I mean, I don't live in Missouri anymore. I think the other thing too is like people would vote differently if they were allowed to decide on things a la carte. But when it comes to a person, like a politician, they have to vote on like 100 things at once, right? When they're voting on a politician, when they're voting on a person, and so it completely changed. Like it's like, yeah, well, I feel this way, but like I don't know overall, like blah blah blah, like. They feel so one way, like the abortion's a perfect example. There are plenty of people on the right who are like, dude, whatever, 15, 20
Oh, yeah,
minutes,
it's tons.
Yeah, but it's like, but I'm still going to go vote for Abbott or Trump or whomever. But like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I think we should have, we should clone people to be government officials or make AI robots or something. And we just vote on issues and the robots carry out everything. That's probably a better system.
I think, yes. I think if you were able to vote on the individual issues, because I agree with you, Bob, and I had this, I think that I might have said this on the show, who knows. But this dinner I was at, everybody, the guy said, look, no matter if you're right or left, you probably only disagree on 2 to 3 issues, and that's really it. And he's probably right about that, because like as a Republican who votes Republican all the time, there's still 3 things on our party thing that I'm like, man, this is fucking dumb. Scratch that, and let's try to get to the rest of it.
Yeah, for me, it's like women shouldn't vote. That's number 1. And that's not a wildly held
opinion. No, not at all. Not at all.
As far as like Earth goes, you're in the majority.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess if you extend it that far.
Yeah.
And if you extend your personal finances to all of Earth, you're also rich. Every single person.
Crushing it.
The vast majority of the world lives on less than $1.30 per day.
Yeah.
About 98%, I think. Something like that. Because they're all in fucking India and China. So
yeah, there's 2 things I look at night to make me feel good about myself. 1, Zillow.
Sure.
2, Malaysian TikTok.
I want to set up a fucking IP camera, like a Ring camera, just in downtown Calcutta.
Ooh, Malaysian TikTok. How are you on Malaysian TikTok?
You just follow the hashtags.
No shit.
Yeah.
And there's a whole what
Yeah.
is it? The pores of Malaysia?
Well, there's only pores in Malaysia.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just sitting there. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm crushing it.
And also,
Super fucking dark.
I don't, it's not the worst idea to write them some personal letters as well. Take out some frustration like, hey, I'm quite a bit better than you at life. And here's the proof, and just take a picture of your fucking bank account, but cover up the numbers because they will steal them.
Oh, yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah.
They're good at that. It's funny, Good Morning America was in Africa, and they were doing a story, and I forget which country it
Were
was.
they singing about Christmas?
They sure weren't. They sure weren't. But they showed a couple, exterior shots of, hey, there's kids playing outside in the streets without shoes on and everything else, and that seemed too dirty for them. The rest of the show is shot on a rooftop of a hotel, so you couldn't see the rest of the country, and you're like, oh, okay, great. And they interviewed a lady about the kente cloth that's Nancy Pelosi wore.
Basically, all those establishing shots are like where we weren't today.
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't see them once down there. And they have the kids that start dancing around them. And it's just like, oh, my God, it's such a fun culture. And you're like, nope, they don't have any money. They don't have any money. And they're hoping you're going to give them some so they can stop dancing for the day. And, yeah, dude, when I saw that, I was like, fuck. I didn't know there was a Malaysian TikTok.
Well, it's not a separate app. It's just Malaysian people on TikTok.
Right.
No, I know that.
You
but
realize how the internet works. right?
I understand it. But, I didn't know hashtag Malaysia meant hashtag poor as well. Where you see the pictures on Instagram of hot white girls going to Malaysia, and it's just beaches and fun and drinks and
Are they
getting
going
massages.
to
I
Malaysia?
don't think that's a white girl country. That's like Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand and India.
Yeah,
to some degree.
No one's getting their groove back in Myanmar or anything like that.
You'll get murdered there.
Oh, really?
As a matter of fact, our buddy, remember that Navy SEAL that trains people over there?
Yeah.
He's over in Myanmar again.
Oh, shit.
'Cause they keep Burma. The government troops keep pushing to the west, trying to take over the rest of secure the rest of the country.
Yeah.
And our people are over there training snipers to fucking shoot them in the face.
Well, with Burma, I learned all I needed to know from Rambo.
Yeah, you're not taking a gun, you're not solving anything.
Exactly. So I'm fine on Burma. The rest of it, I didn't know. I thought there was some nice beach towns where you can go get a massage for $8
No, you're better off
full
going
day.
to Nepal and walking through the fucking mountains than you are trying to go to Burma or some shit.
All right.
You'll get murdered there
Well,
for sure.
good to know. I'm going to go ahead and give up my timeshare there. Delco, if you can sell it off during this ad read, that'd be great. Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros is our title sponsor of the show. 30% off a mattress. And right now they're giving 2 free luxury pillows with a mattress right now. And the pillows are just as good as the goddamn mattress. I can promise you that. 30% off with the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout if you want the cover. Look, the homegirl was wanting to do butt stuff yesterday. That's what you need. You got to get that cover, dog, if you're doing butt stuff. That will protect and keep your nice white mattress clean. 40% off the bundle package. That's the adjustable base and the mattress combined together. It's got a remote control, USB ports, flashlights, all the fun stuff. You can watch tonight's Thursday night game on Amazon Prime from the comfort of your own bed. If you have one, if you don't, go get one. Once you have it, you'll never go back. I can promise you that. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page to check out, click the 60-month pay-as-you-go program. That will make all the deals that I just mentioned earlier able to use with that, and you're good to go. You can walk out of there with a brand new bedroom set for about $25 a month at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Next up, this story is amazing. 7 ways a recession can be good for you. When I saw this story pop up, I said, there's no way you did this. Sure did.
Well, it's important to stay positive, right? It's a big part of my personality.
Oh, this was a Washington Post article, dude. I read this, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. After it was published, fucking people on Twitter went nuts. And it was a listicle providing 7 ways a recession could be good for you financially. Disgruntled users on Twitter slammed the piece as propaganda and expressed frustration that the outlet is only now admitting the country is in a recession when it has been in one since the beginning of the fiscal quarter. This was some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. right before we went on air, Bob was talking about Twitter's not real and all this other stuff. Like, the media itself isn't real. Twitter's complicit. They're all in on this together. How the fuck do you get away with shit like this?
Well, you know, state-run media, right?
I guess, but this feels like China. If this feels like a story from China.
No, it's a bunch of assholes in a room being like, we have to come up with something that's going to get clicks.
Yeah, but on everything and you've had this too. We've all had this in this fucking room. Whenever you post something like this, it'll say this, we fact check this. This is fucking disinformation or misinformation or anything else. Like, there's no way. There's not one way. A recession could be good for you unless you wanted your family to be fucking poor.
Well, I mean, to your point, Bob, I would have believed that 20 years ago, that it was just like clickbait shit. But when you hear major executives of social media companies saying that the FBI is calling them directly to pressure them into not running certain stories, then I have to say that it's state-run media, to be honest. I mean, you can't have a bigger smoking gun than the CEO and founder of the largest social media company in the world, which is bigger than any fucking newspaper distribution by a wide margin, had the FBI call him directly and say, do not publish this shit.
Yep. And then he said it on the biggest platform he possibly could, which was Joe Rogan. I mean, it's shocking. So we'll read some of the highlights here because, I mean, I read this and I was
Maybe
like,
you'll lose 25 pounds because you can't afford food, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like, shut the fuck up.
One of them was housing prices might finally come down to reasonable levels. And great, the interest rate's going to be 90% on that fucking house.
You can refi, baby.
Look, here's the, like, it's like, this is a buy and hold type of investment, a mortgage is, right? Mm-hmm. So the idea that you're going to make quick dollars off of it, maybe, right? If things stay stable like that and high peak for 2 years, but that's not going to happen.
No.
Because it never does.
No.
So this is a fucking pipe dream.
What if,
Oh, boy.
hypothetically, you bought a house in 2021, but they had to build it, but you locked your price in at 2021, and then inflation went bananas. So your house that you were selling, before you moved to that new house, just started costing more and more and more for someone else to buy.
Unless you want to pay 22% tax on the sale of that home, you have to hold on to it for a minimum of 2 years from when you started paying for it, not when they started building it.
Not a problem.
Well, I'm going to refi you. We're going to turn that property into a rental and get you locked in at 5%.
Yeah, because it's at 6.7 as of today. This morning when I saw it. But I'll read some of these other ones. Oh, this is a real quote. As bad as things are, rising interest rates, high inflation, stock market tumbling, the economy hasn't imploded as it did during the Great Depression. That was an actual quote from this article. Hey, we're not really where the Great Depression was yet.
Ever the optimist, Michelle Singletary is. It's like your leg gets bitten off by a shark. Well, you still got the other leg.
Yeah, you can still do a sack race.
Calm down.
You don't even put anything in the burlap sack.
Now you've only got to buy one shoe. It saves you money on shoes. So.
I don't understand this at all, dude. I don't understand how they were allowed to post this article. It seemed like a Babylon Bee article, like making fun of BuzzFeed. But this was the Washington Post.
I mean, it doesn't seem like the worst idea if you're one of these leftist media organizations or one of the right-leaning media organizations, Fox or Newsmax or those, to hire a bunch of young dummies and have them post outrageous shit and then just fire them 6 months from now. They just kept posting dumb shit like you had no fucking say in the issue.
That's a great point, actually, because think about it. Since we are going to hit this fucking crazy recession as soon as this election's over, you're going to have to lay off half your staff anyways. You might as well have them post all this crazy shit and be like, man, you just read that one article? We had to get rid of them. We had to cut them. We had to let them go. This shit, man, is getting so fucking out of hand that it's like, I feel like they're sticking it right in front of our faces, going, it's just a pile of shit, and going, it's not shit. It's not shit.
No, it's so she in that part of the quote. She said, I have to say this because, as Roosevelt pointed out, fear itself can lead to actions that worsen your finances.
Like what? Offing yourself?
So while many people are hurting, there may be ways to cushion the downside. I mean, it's basically what you just said. It's like, hey, don't talk about how bad shit is. Okay, you're gonna upset people, and it's gonna be worse.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe do your fucking job. and tell the
Creativity
truth.
comes from being boxed in.
No, necessity is the mother of invention. Don't try to rephrase the quote. Come on.
We're spending 180 at the grocery store on one day's worth of food now. It's gonna get bad. Friends.
So here are some of the actual reasons. She says housing prices may finally come down to reasonable levels. There's been like an 18-month spike. It hasn't been that long. And we're going to fucking throw ourselves into recession just to bring housing prices down? No, housing prices go up because inventory went down, because you couldn't build because there were fucking a lack of supplies.
Well,
that's
COVID,
how it's
COVID,
but that's why it was like that.
Right.
That's how it's supposed to work. If you fuck with that process, then you create inflation, which is what they did.
And there was also, because of COVID, increase for demand. Because people were like, well, I'm working from home now. Fuck this apartment.
Everybody's working from home.
Right.
Even, who is it, Google earlier? No, Amazon. Amazon wants all of their call service people to work from home so they can get rid of these fucking buildings, too.
Oh, that's not even new. When I had Google Fiber before I moved out to Drip, they all those dudes who had to have to call to like get service or whatever, yeah, they're working from their house.
Don't call it Drip.
But that's
Drip.
what it's called.
It's called Drip.
That's what it's called, dude. Sorry.
Jealous,
Sorry, bro.
Jealous
Yeah.
of Drip.
Man, Delco, it looks ugly on you, Jealousy. You need to wash your face. There's a book called that I think you should read.
Second one was savings rates are up, but thank God for your savings account. It's going to go from 0.7% up to 0.9 maybe. The fuck out of here. What an idiot. Let's see. She said at least one bright side of the Federal Reserve raising rates to fight inflation is banks are paying people more to hold on to their money. Oh, man.
Sure.
It's not much.
No. And the other part about it is they're charging you these maintenance fees now. And I had to call Bank of America and I was like, hey, man, what the fuck's up with this? We got 6 accounts with you guys for the media company and all these businesses and shit. And I was like, we're not clean. What are you doing for the $25? Like, unless you're coming to my house with a fucking mop, you're not doing a maintenance fee here for nothing you do in the bank account.
I don't know.
We're sorry, sir. We didn't know that. Start looking for those hidden fees because those are popping up now in your account, which is also fun, but they don't point that out in this article.
She says I-bonds inflation rate might go even higher, so they're trying to talk you into buying fucking treasury bonds. All set on that.
Yep.
Fourth reason is the dollar is king and it may be worth more overseas. So if you're traveling, your dollar's going to go farther because of inflation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not if that only continues if we continue to be the world's reserve currency. And if the dollar flops, that will not be the case. Yeah. You fucking muppet.
I was waiting to read in this article, hey, the stock market is crashing and now you're going to finally be able to afford your favorite stocks at low prices.
On sale.
And we're going to build a better stock market. I hate to have to do this again, but I got to quote 1984. In the end, the party would announce that 2 and 2 made 5. And you would have to believe it. It was inevitable that they should make the claim sooner or later. The logic of their position demanded it. Not merely the validity of experience, but the very existence of any external reality was tacitly denied by their philosophy.
Yeah.
Like if you know you're fighting from a completely asinine position, you just have to lie all the time and not only make other people believe it, but believe it yourself.
Yeah.
These people are fucking nuts.
It's crazy. It's going to get worse. Buckle up as soon as this election's over. I don't think you can stop the fucking wagon from going downhill at that point and just crashing into pieces. I think we're all fucked after that.
That's fine. Learn to swim.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Learn to catch food. Learn to cook. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Next up, we got a new advertiser here. We got Kershaw knives. You got one of them right there? Boom.
Yeah.
Look at that thing, dude.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're the best in the business. Kershaw is one of the best there is. You're going to stab through that bottle right there? Look at that. It's a
Pretty
clean
sharp.
cut, dude.
Now, do they work in October?
Oh, wow. That's a baseball joke. And that's a reach right now.
I don't know if they take May through June off.
Yeah.
probably.
That's a Clayton Kershaw joke, and that's a reach, Bob, for most of this audience.
That's all right. COVID year. They did well.
COVID year. Well, bubble rings don't count. Look, Kershaw is some of the best in the business, knife-wise. Fuck, man, I've got like 2 in my car just in case shit pops off. These guys have been around for, I feel like, 35 years now at this point, or not? What was the 1974? 45 years. They're amazing, best in the biz. They're designed and tested, manufactured in the good old U.S. of A. They're right here. No matter what your budget is, they strive to offer you a value-packed product backed by a limited lifetime warranty from a $20 Walmart special for someone just starting off. They got $200 USA made automatics too. Let's see those, Bob. Pull up those Kershaws with the automatic ones for $200.
Well, this one. This is a small automatic, so this is about $100.
Yeah.
It's a 7350 model, and it's spring loaded. And I have another one. I don't remember what the name of the model is, but it's a 3.5-inch blade. That's the same as this automatic spring load.
Automatic.
Yep. Sponsored by
Automatic, dude. Yeah, Brett Kavanaugh, Automatic. They offer free replacement parts like a pocket clip, screws, all that stuff for free. All a customer needs to do is fill out a parts request from their website. You're good to go. They'll ship it to you. Use code DB20 for 20% off at kershaw.kaiusa.com. That is kershaw.kaiusa.com. DB20 for 20% off there. And orders over $100 shipped for free. Let's go. Welcome to the show, Kershaw. Big fan for years and super amped to have you on here. Next up, D'Anthony, I'm going to let you read this one here because the way it's written, I don't like the tone of it.
So the headline is Lizzo is an enormous embarrassment.
Enormous success.
And I'm hoping that is taken as the double entendre I intended it to be, because she's also a fat piece of shit.
Yep.
So on Tuesday evening, the manatee known as Lizzo was given a crystal flute, once owned by American founding father James Madison, and was given to her by the Library of Congress to play in D.C. at her Lizzo the Special Tour, which has also been referred to colloquially as the Type 2 Diabetes Tour.
Yeah.
But I don't think she has the trademark for that.
No, probably not. I don't know if you can.
No, probably it's common usage. Yeah. According to the Library of Congress, a French fluter.
Flautist.
Fluter is the person that makes it.
Gotcha.
Made the ornate instrument in 1813 specifically for President James Madison in honor of his second inauguration. She played it around, I guess, at the Library of Congress a little bit, and that would have been cool.
Yeah, they brought it. They brought it over for her to test out for a little bit.
One of the things that she said online was that no living person has ever heard this thing played, and that's a true statement.
Oh, it is.
And it would have been cool for her to just do that.
Yeah,
but she didn't just do that.
What else did she do, D'Anthony?
Just play the fucking video.
This story makes me so happy. Play it. Play the video. Play the video. There we go. She's walking over.
She can't wear actual heels because she'll leave divots in the fucking concrete.
Oh, she's fine.
It's crystal. It's like playing out of a wine glass, bitch. So
oh, is it all crystal?
Yeah.
It's all crystal. That's nice. Yeah. One of the best in the biz. One of the best flautists. Yeah, D'Anthony.
All right, you can cut that.
She's getting the people going there.
Go ahead and cut
She's
that.
Twerking with James Madison's crystal flutes.
Cut it out of my memory.
You love to see it.
I might use this
another
Kershaw.
30 seconds.
I might use this Kershaw to dig that out of my fucking brain. I don't understand how anybody in any position of authority would think that was a good idea.
Well, here's the thing. I brought this up, a couple months ago on the show. I said, dude, she plays the flute, and she's actually an amazing flautist. And you said, no, that can't be true. It is true.
I don't care if she's good at playing it or not, right? That is fucked.
Why? Why do you think that's fucked?
What do you mean? Why do I think it's fucked? She's an enormous fat piece of shit twerking with a fucking a treasured piece of memorabilia from American history. This is fucking stupid.
So I would never have known that this flute even existed if it wasn't for Lizzo.
That is a completely irrelevant statement. It does exist, and she used it like that. That's what matters, right? Jesus fucking Christ.
She's
man.
bringing, what was that, 200 years old, probably?
I was 1813, I think is what I
So
was.
a little over 200 years.
Yeah, a little over 200 years. She's bringing it into today's world, and that's what we do is we twerk with historical items.
It's a perfect example of how every institution at the federal level, including the military, by the way, is completely corrupted and run by absolute fucking retards. Even the DC Capitol Police posted something on Twitter like, oh, we helped her secure it on the way over. Like, thanks, Capitol Police, because you definitely didn't hold the door open and let people in and then try to file charges against them. Who knows? Maybe next fucking we'll convince Jeff Cohen to get fat again and do the truffle shuffle with the original Declaration of Independence. You know
I
what I
think it'd
mean?
be fun.
Why not? Let's go full ham on it. By the way, the thing I was talking about with the military, the first trans military officer just got arrested for espionage.
No shit.
Yeah, for trying to steal senior leadership at Fort Bragg's personal medical records. They hand them off to Russians.
That's dope. Dude.
So maybe don't give security clearances to people with established mental illnesses. That might be a good place to start, you fucking muppet.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't get too worked up about the flute thing.
Me neither.
Like, I like.
So I saw the behind the scenes footage of this. I watched it this morning. What they had said was, for whoever owns this library or is in charge of it, is they're trying to make history cool for kids
It's
again.
the Library of Congress.
Okay.
And let's just shove it up your fat fucking ass, you piece of shit. There's no rules, man. Fuck it. No, this is cultural decay, epitomized. God fucking damn it, man. And I don't even care about historical relics in any way. Don't care. Could not care less. This is a fucking humiliating moment for the United States.
I think if you were going to get angry about anything, it's that James Madison was the thinnest president we've had in the history of our country.
He was a teensy little fella.
He
Wasn't he
weighed
like
in at
5'2"?
Little twink, yeah.
He weighed in at 100 pounds, and it's the lightest president we've had in the history.
He
of
was
the
on
country.
the verge of death for both terms. It's amazing he made it through.
That's why his wife had to carry the painting of George Washington out of the White House because people
do
were
it.
carrying James Madison out.
He's a tiny man.
Yeah.
He was only a hundo.
She had him in a lot of people don't know this, but after he left the presidency, he traveled around in a baby Bjorn on his wife's chest.
Yes, she fed him ice cream.
Yep.
Which is a deep cut. First president to eat ice cream in the White House.
Yeah.
If anything, Lizzo's a much better athlete than James Madison.
Oh yeah.
She would definitely truck him in the fucking
Oh yeah, dude.
in the
Oklahoma
matchup.
drill.
Yeah,
In the Oklahoma
yeah.
drill, getting up, dude. Blow that whistle and watch her fucking truck him. That'd be great.
He might evaporate.
He might evaporate, and if nothing else, she would probably consume him,
Oh yeah.
or he would just get stuck in a fold somewhere.
Yeah.
What a fat, useless piece of shit she is. God damn it, man.
She's providing great music and joy to millions of people around the world. On a
Yeah.
nightly
She's
basis.
telling young kids that it's okay to be fat and die at 54 from heart disease. Fuck yeah, let's do it, bro.
Your hatred for Lizzo makes me laugh so much. I love
Because
it.
it's a fucking effigy for how fucked up and why our culture is. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
I don't really care about her personally. But the fact that everybody props her up, which, by the way, requires an enormous amount of effort.
Sure.
Because she is an enormous human being, is completely fucking stupid. It's stupid. She acts like a fucking moron and treats her body like it's a piece of shit.
Some people are into it, man, because it looked like, was she wearing pants last night, Bob, or was that?
No, she was
never
wearing
wears
like a
pants.
fucking tutu or something.
She never wears pants. Look, I don't know. I Lizzo's so talented musically that I just don't care.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean,
anything
that's the
else.
same things people said about fucking Michael Jackson when he was licking kids' assholes.
Yeah, but
Boom.
she's,
On
I, don't
that
think,
boat.
I don't think she's licking
Yeah,
kids'
she's just
assholes.
licking
She's
James
just-
Madison's flute.
Oh, no, because
Well,
he got on all fours to do that, and there's no way she could do it. She'd
Yeah.
never get up. She probably doesn't even sit down, to be honest.
I heard
she
she
just
runs a
stays standing.
4.940.
No,
That's what I heard.
She has to stay standing all the time. Sleeps upright in a fucking coffin.
No, I mean, if you see the acrobats she pulls in her performances,
It's pretty fucking crazy,
how, As
dude.
big as she is.
I
and-
know.
You think she's on HGH?
I don't.
No, she's just. I mean, she's a better athlete than anybody in the studio right now.
Oh yeah, easily, easily.
Fuck out of here.
She can run around a stage for 2 hours a night, and I can't. There is no scientific understanding for it. I'm with you.
It's called fucking cocaine, bro.
I don't think she's on coke. I don't think she's on coke.
There's plenty of
Maybe
fat
she'd be
cocaine
thin.
people now.
Name
Chris
one.
Farley.
Fucking Belushi, Farley.
They
What
die.
do you mean? The most famous cocaine people are fat pieces of shit.
Next up, Iran is blowing up. Literally. Iranians staged a 12th straight night of women-led protests on Tuesday over the death on, you want me to say it?
Give it a shot.
Mahsa Amini.
It's close enough.
I feel like I did it. I feel like I landed it. I feel like I sullied that one. Landed the plane on the river. Despite fears and internet blackouts, we'll see security forces intensify a bloody crackdown. Dozens have been killed since demonstrating for this 22-year-old Kurdish woman who died in custody of Iran's notorious morality police after her arrest for allegedly breaching the country's strict rules on what was the headscarf thing?
Hijab.
That's it.
Yeah, so all of these like all these American that Muslims that have never lived in Muslim countries that are wearing a hijab, and then ESPN posted, look how brave she is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's brave, man. You may as well fucking walk around with a noose around your neck. Do you understand what the hijab is in Islamic culture? It's not a sign of respect. It's like cover your fucking head in shame.
Yeah.
That's why they have police officers literally arresting and murdering people for not doing it.
So here's what's interesting about this, because I see these videos on Twitter, the ones that have gotten out at least. I don't know if they've shut down the country social media-wise going forward or anything, but I saw these women burning their hijabs in public in this huge fire, like they were burning books and shit, and then screaming and going nuts.
Well, I think it was more like the bra burning of the 1960s
sure.
and 70s.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see because, for one, that footage never gets out of the country. So I was surprised that even Twitter was open for
it's social
that short amount of time.
Yeah, social media is one way to get it out. People have been using email, but now they're going to shut off the entire internet.
Right. So, with this, you think this is where it gets really bad?
Well, what's been happening is opposition media that still exists inside of the country are taking, they're capturing media pictures and video and shit, and probably smuggling it out some other way. If they're not using like going too close to the border and using another country's cellular or fucking Wi-Fi or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. But this is where somebody like Elon Musk could be really helpful. He did it in Ukraine, right, when Russia was running
Starlink, yeah.
Yeah, so put Starlink satellites. Oh, I don't know why the U.S. government, maybe they are, but State Department should be reaching out to Elon Musk right now, but they spend too much time trying to investigate him for whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But they should be reaching out to him like, hey, put some satellites over and just give them free internet for a couple of weeks.
We'll watch this video first and then look it up, Bob. I think he did, right?
He did it in Ukraine.
Yeah, but I believe he did it in Iran as well, right?
Well, he mentioned it on Twitter the other day. So somebody, I think it was the Washington Post or somebody posted a link about what's going on in Iran, and he quote tweeted it and just put hashtag Starlink or something like that.
Okay. And you got a video, Bob?
So this is 10 morality police officers enforcing some hijab.
Okay.
situation.
Against a very dangerous 120-pound woman.
Yeah.
ای وای گرفتش الهی بمیرم نزنش وای تو رو قرآن نزنش
Hold on.
God damn.
Gets worse.
Well, we don't know what she was doing.
Unless she was doing it with a gun or a chainsaw. That's not necessary.
that's not
Yeah. No,
that's
these are
excessive is what we
absolutely
call that in
fucked
the
up.
United States, Bob. That's crazy, man. It's almost hard to see, but then you see what people are bitching about over here, and you're just like, dude, what?
That's, the perspective, knowing that it's quite a bit worse everywhere else and we don't have real problems, so we created them. But then, honestly, I've always had such a big problem with, I knew a lot of women in California especially who wear the hijab even though they're not even Muslim. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, that is a symbol of the global oppression of women. How dare you wear something like that? And then try to fucking get mad when somebody questions you about, like, oh, that's my heritage. All right, cool, man. I mean, I'm from the South.
But you wouldn't drape yourself in a Confederate flag and roll down the streets.
Well,
I understand it.
I might do that. But I wouldn't wear a fucking literal symbol of oppression. Like, that was a war flag. I'm talking about a literal symbol of oppression, like a fucking noose or a whites only t-shirt or some shit like that. I mean, how dare you fucking think that's okay to do that shit?
Yeah, it's pretty wild what's going on over there. At what point do the men get involved and say, I mean, just overthrow the government? Does that ever happen in that country?
There was some polling from the UN and other organizations in the early 2000s that suggested the sub-30 group of Iranians, about 80% of them were pro-West and wanted to get rid of the fucking theocracy. But we were too busy spending, $9 trillion in Iraq and Afghanistan for no fucking reason.
It was Western.
It was until the 1960s, yeah.
Yeah.
When we fucked it up.
So then they can't overturn it then at this point? Like, what's to stop them from overthrowing their government? How difficult would it be?
I mean, you do stuff like this, and you hope that if you're the oppressing agent, you hope that it scares enough people that they don't fucking retaliate. And now at this point, it's only women protesting, and women don't really have rights in Iran. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anything that happens to them, it just is what it is. And the unfortunate fact is, most men that you're talking about who might overthrow the government are instead just going to keep their wives and children at home and not get involved, because that's the easy thing to do.
But I think eventually it will turn. I just don't know when and why. When we blasted Soleimani, right, for years, and there was multiple administrations before that where they said, Iran's got this amazing, powerful military, and we can't fuck with Iran, and let them do whatever they want. Then Trump got in there and blew this guy off the face of the earth, and then you realize, they don't really have a military. So if I see that, and I'm an Iranian, one would think it would be pretty easy to overthrow that government.
Well, so here's the difference, and it's one of the reasons that the mandate stuff in the United States Armed Forces has been so problematic over the last couple of years. So Iran, if you show any kind of free thought or dissent coming up the military ranks or political ranks in Iran, you just get murdered for it, right? So by the time the force is fully formed, there is no more dissent. It's just, a closed fist. Mm-hmm. So even though they have less numbers and they're not exactly good at fighting or anything like that, you're not going to get internal coups, I don't think, from a place like that.
It'd be fun to see, though.
And there's also not a huge amount of war veterans like us with a GWAT just hanging out at home doing regular jobs now, waiting for somebody to try to fuck around.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on it because, I didn't think it would go this long. Usually they shut this shit down in like 2 or 3 days. You're on day 12 right now, so it'll be interesting to see.
You think they shut it down that fast, but really what they do is shut down the press.
Oh, so you think that this shit goes on longer? We just don't hear about it?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Next up, our next sponsor is blackbuffalo.com/discounts/Drinkin Bros. You use the Black Buffalo all the time here on the show.
Yeah.
This is a nice tobacco alternative there. I don't know if you have some still on your desk. Are you out over there?
I've got some over here, yeah.
Yeah. Look, these... we have to read the nicotine warnings here. There is nicotine in the product a little bit. There you go. You get a 10.
Well, not
right
all of
there.
it. Like some of it.
Not all of it. Right?
This one is 100% ritual, which means it's just flavored, right? Mm-hmm. It's a material that's flavored that tastes like tobacco, but actually doesn't have any tobacco or nicotine.
Right.
And then there's one that has no tobacco, but it does have nicotine if you enjoy the nicotine.
And you have to be 21 and over for it, but you've seen Black Buffalo everywhere. It's on a lot of podcasts. It's on here as well. So if you're 21 or over and you dip or chew tobacco, pouches or long cuts, you got to try the tobacco alternative, which is Black Buffalo. 3-time Best New Products Award winner by third-party publications. Black Buffalo is everything you love about dipping, including pharmaceutical-grade nicotine, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. It's dip literally made from edible green leaves and food-grade ingredients with the same flavors and texture as traditional tobacco products. No compromise. Black Buffalo sells products on their website at blackbuffalo.com. Is available in both long cut and pouches. They produce a variety of flavors like wintergreen, mint, straight, peach, and even blood orange. These guys were born in the Midwest, raised in the South. Black Buffalo proudly manufactures their products here in the United States for adult U.S. consumers. They're also proud supporters of the U.S. military, veterans, and first responders. You're going to use that promo code Drinkin Bros there for 20% off your first order at blackbuffalo.com. twerking.com. And we always keep the links in our audio feed and then on the video as well. So in case you don't remember, if you're watching live or you're listening in your car, just scroll down on the podcast and you'll see it. This is blackbuffalo.com / discount / drinking bros. It's blackbuffalo.com / drinking bros. And that promo code is drinking bros at checkout. Next up, Chinese police in North America? That can't be a thing, D'Anthony. The People's Republic of China has opened at least 3 police stations on Canadian soil as part of an alleged attempt by the country's security states to keep an eye on the Chinese Canadian. Is that real?
Diaspora.
Yeah, is that real though?
Yes.
And this is really going on right now?
Not only is it real, there's 3 addresses in Toronto. One of them is like a private residence that Chinese secret police are living in. And one of them's like in a fucking strip mall. There's also one in Manhattan. How about that? There's Chinese secret police in New York City right now.
So I read a lot. I have never read this article, heard about this, anything else. I automatically, because you always put a link in here. This is on the nationalpost.com. Why isn't this a global story?
But the research was actually done by a human rights organization. So they, some of China's internal documents leaked, some of their budgeting documents, right?
Okay.
And they found all these fucking rental places, or places that they actually own the property and tracked it, backwards from there. And
no shit.
The reason that it's not in any of the major newspapers is because, or media outlets, is because every single one of them is owned in some part by China.
Yeah,
That's
of course,
why.
of course. And then you take a country like Canada. They've probably got a bunch of trade deals, and I mean, obviously the Canadian government knows about it.
Well, they
right?
sold a bunch of their mineral rights to China, so
Great.
that seems like a weird thing to do, to be honest.
I'm
But
sure
so
it's fine.
the revelations were contained in a newly published report by the Asian human rights group Safeguard Defenders. China maintains that these stations, they admit that they exist first. So they came. Safeguard Defenders published the information. China admitted that it exists. So this is not a fucking conspiracy theory or anything like that.
Okay.
They say that their only reason they're there is to assist expats in completing administrative tasks such as getting their driver's license renewed. So they sent secret police, right? It's an organization inside of the Chinese government that doesn't even have a name. And they sent them over to our country and to Canada and all over the world, by the way. There's there's hundreds of these fucking places. But
it's for driver's license, Dan. So it's like a
right.
It's like a DMV.
So the real situation is that the Chinese have this policy called involuntary return, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a program of compelling Chinese nationals to return home whenever the country's security service deems they violated Chinese laws. So if you left China and came to America and you live in New York and you tweet something negative about China, those secret police will come to your house, kidnap you, and ship you back to fucking China.
No shit.
Yes, sir. 230,000 people.
That's fucking insane.
Not
Why
great.
why do we allow this to go on? Like, why doesn't somebody come in, say, you said Manhattan, right?
This is just the last year, by the way.
Yeah. But why not nuke this right now and get this the fuck right out of there?
Well, they didn't publish the exact addresses, probably for that reason, because honestly, some dude from fucking Queens would go down and smoke these Chinese police.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, in just the last year, the group reported Chinese authorities have claimed this is what the Chinese authorities claim to have done. So I'm sure the number is quite a bit higher, but they claim that 230,000 of their expats have been persuaded to return. According to these guys, these returns are obtained by visiting extreme sanctions on the families of those targeted, such as asset seizures, prohibition from seeking government health care or education, so on and so forth. So they snatch you up, and then they fucking tell you that your family and back in China is fucked until you come home and face charges. And this is happening in the United States.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
So Canadian-based dissidents of Beijing government have long warned Canadian authorities about this. There's a long history. There's actually a 2019 New York Times article from a woman named Xing Zhu. I
love her work.
She's from the western part of the country, I believe. And she faced a relentless stream of cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns intended to discredit her. Quote, "I thought I'd have a safe, happy life in Canada. She escaped after the 1989 Tiananmen Square incident, but the Chinese Communist Party was already here, she said, like in 1989. They were already there setting up. So there's also one of these Chinese police stations, like I said, in New York City. I don't know how any of this is legal.
I don't either. Or why are we allowed to go on? We wouldn't be able to do shit over there. Fuck, if you go back to COVID, we weren't even allowed to look at those goddamn labs.
No, I think, honestly, if Trump gets reelected in 24, the first thing he should do is expel any Chinese government official from our country.
Yeah.
Permanently, right? Like, there's no fucking reason for them to be there. And if they own any property or businesses in the United States, they forfeit all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck China.
And then seize the assets.
Yeah.
I think that's why they don't care about selling it to them.
Probably.
Because what's that mean? They give you money and then you can take it back whenever you want?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what are they going to do about it?
This is such a strange story. I haven't heard one single word about this at all.
Well, you know, if it became a widely known thing, then the government would have to actually do something about it.
But you don't think they knew?
Of course they knew, yeah.
Why would they allow it?
Because you didn't know.
Right.
So there's nobody to stop them from allowing it.
But what's the benefit
is there
for
value?
letting them? Yeah, well, yeah. What's the value in our own government letting this happen for them? Though?
What's the value in our own government allowing 2.5 million motherfuckers to come into the country this year?
I agree. I agree.
Is there value in observation? Like
well, for
watching
China, sure.
Well, I mean, with watching them operate, too. I don't know. Like, I'm literally asking, like, is there any value?
I don't see it on either side, which
Like,
is what
I mean, I wouldn't-
doesn't make
gotta-
sense to me.
I wouldn't-
You got to imagine that shit, like, those offices are tapped left, right, and center.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, you can hear everything.
And if we were an ally, sure, then I would understand of like, all right, great. You want to bring in your people and try to help your other people out? Whatever, man. But they're not.
No, I think, you know, we're either in 5 years, we're going to be at war with China or with ourselves, probably.
Where's your money going on that one?
Does it matter? The money's not going to be worth anything at that point.
Maybe. Fuck, man, that's wild. I have not heard this story. Next up, birds aren't real. Now, this one I have, obviously. Almost half of all bird species are in decline globally, and 1 in 8 are threatened with extinction, according to a major news report, warning that human actions are driving more species to the brink and that nature is in trouble.
By the way, I just want to, since they decided to throw that little bit of gay bullshit in there, 99.997% of all species that have ever existed on this planet are extinct. Mm-hmm. And the vast majority of them existed before human beings were even on Earth.
Yep.
So let's calm it down with us causing everything. It's like it's the whole like the Earth-centric universe, right? That was the standard before we knew that we weren't the center of shit.
Geocentric?
Yeah,
Yep.
geocentric, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like we think so highly of ourselves that all of this must be for us.
Mm-hmm.
This whole fucking 2 trillion galaxies in the universe, that's all for us, bud.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
and which, you know, if anything bad happens, oh, it's our fault. Fuck off, man. This is the dumbest shit of all time. But this one's particularly funny because birds are completely useless. at
Well,
this point.
it's also funny who the source is here. So it's
France?
called the State of the World's Birds Report, which I didn't know was
it's
a
a
thing.
it's a United Nations commission that tracks like the bird population.
And what the
globally.
fuck do they care? Like you were saying,
Well,
right?
they see-
what does a bird
Yeah.
really do for us if all birds were gone?
Oh, can I tell you?
Yeah, please do.
Let me give you a history lesson.
Here we
There
fucking
we
go.
go.
Let me give you a history lesson.
God.
You heard of China? We were talking about China.
Yeah.
Well, under, I think, Mao, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, under Mao in the Great Leap Forward, one of the things he did to sort of unite the population and give everyone a fucking like ho-hum thing to do together, there were common pests that he thought all of the population should kill. Kill these things because they hurt us. One of them was some type of sparrow. They ate a certain amount of grain per year, so there was so they took some sort of grain loss because of the sparrow's existence. So everyone was encouraged to go kill these sparrows.
Sparrow, yeah.
Because they ate like 4 pounds of grain a year.
Right.
4
Per
Just
bird.
4.
per
bird, yeah.
That's a lot, though,
Fat
per
piece
bird.
of shit.
Yeah.
You would think it's a lot, but the other thing they ate a lot more grain, and that was the locust. So the Chinese went out and they were like, "Fuck yeah, China!" and they killed all these fucking birds.
Murked all these sparrows.
They would pull nests down and stomp on the eggs. They would stand under trees and bang pots because it would scare the shit out of the birds until they literally died of exhaustion and would just fall out of the fucking trees.
And guess who thrived and caused a massive amount of famine?
That killed tens of millions of Chinese
Was
people.
it the locust?
Yep,
It
sure
be
was.
that
You
weird.
can't eat a locust?
They couldn't, I guess.
They couldn't. No,
They need to get better nets.
That's what they were using in the new Jurassic World. They were using these crazy fucking locusts and that thing to do a bunch of damage. So we need birds, is what you're saying.
I err on the side of bird.
right.
Locusts.
You're pro bird.
Locusts are a rich source of bioactive proteins, right? And you can't use them, at least so far as we know, to spy on people, which is what the U.S. government uses them for.
Yeah, because
none of the
aren't
birds,
real.
none of the
They're all
birds here
robots.
are real in the first place.
They're all robots.
They're fucking sky rats. man.
Where are the baby pigeons?
Yeah, there aren't none.
I've never seen one in my
lived
entire life. Yep.
Multiple major cities. I've never seen a baby pigeon in my fucking life.
Never seen one in my entire life.
Yeah, but this is, let's see, 1 in 8 bird species is threatened with extinction, and the status of the world's birds continues to deteriorate. Species are moving ever faster towards extinction. Using data from the International Union for Conservation of Nature, which is unfortunately a thing, the report said 49% of bird species worldwide have declining populations, with populations falling even in species not normally rare or at risk. I don't care. I'll deal with the fallout from this, to be honest.
I was waiting for it.
Like, if it was a billion
waiting
years
for
ago and birds needed to carry seeds to new places to terraform the earth and shit, I would care, but we're beyond it.
I'm pro bird, Bob.
What are the birds in Texas doing? Like, what are the finches that are all
look,
over the place here doing?
I will say this: if you
rats,
No, cats eat rats. I like cats.
if you want to murder grackles, I'm on board.
I'm not sure what a grackle is.
It's the main bird you see around here. If you eat like downtown or something, that fucker hops on your table like
blackbirds.
outside.
That's racist.
yeah, we don't do that here.
No, I'm telling you, they're blackbirds.
Oh, the physical color. Okay, all right. Making sure, dude.
Well, not all blackbirds are black, actually.
Yeah, blackbirds matter. So are you pro bird then, Delco? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, go birds.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're not going to go fucking stomp out all the eagles.
There's a lot of birds out there. Yeah, what happens if we just leave eagles? Like, I don't need to see this dirty fuck rolling around
Not only cool birds.
my neighborhood.
Birds,
You know?
birds. We will leave all the birds of prey alone, right? But not all birds are predators.
No. So I think we've proved though that we do actually need them, but they're not all going to die.
What about waterfowl? What do they add? What do ducks eat that doesn't normally get done? They don't pollinate shit. What about fucking gulls and shit? Fuck, those birds are annoying as shit.
Yeah.
Look, man, gulls at this point probably just take a lot of our trash off the table.
Also, without ducks, we wouldn't have like an important plot point in Sopranos.
What if we got to reboot that?
I think that today's the day you actually go on a rampage
I
and you
almost
kill everybody in here.
threw this knife at him, but it's a nice knife. And I
It
don't
is a
wanna break
nice
it.
knife, and
It's
it's
fair.
automatic.
That's fair.
It's automatic.
I'm down with killing like geese. I used to work at a park where they were
They're
like
dicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to work at a park, and they're
Swans.
invasive. They're invasive.
Swans are bigger dicks than geese.
Yeah, stop looking at me, Swan.
I like to punch one.
A goose.
Yeah.
I punched a goose before. One tried to attack Jay, the older Boston Terrier.
No shit.
Yeah, like in Oakland, a couple.
You punch in the face?
Yeah. I mean, it was right there. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna kick at it because he's on a leash and I don't want to get my leg tangled up. So I just fucking.
You
I
took
had
a
him-
full swing. Yeah.
Well, I just jabbed. I mean, I'm not gonna fucking roundhouse a goddamn goose.
There was somebody in Florida who was doing roundhouses to the goose. Remember that? We did that story on RPR.
yeah?
a couple
Oh,
years
well, I
ago.
wanted to talk. I think I mentioned it on one of the.
That guy was kicking geese in the neck, dude.
Yeah, I want to.
And swans.
I think I may
Yeah.
have mentioned it on one of the drunk shows, but there's drone bums and drones. I think. is
Yeah,
the name
Bums
of
and
it.
Drones, yeah.
Have you looked at that one yet?
No.
Ron? So
it's the best. It's an Instagram site.
it's really funny. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
All they do is fly these drones over bums, and then the bums get all pissed off and they try to go
Knock it
after
down.
them. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's bums, the letter N, and then drones.
This is the new Russian dash cam footage.
Oh yeah, for sure. for sure.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And
it's
that
like,
thing's going to pick up steam.
they basically just fly over crackheads, and crackheads throw shit at them, and then do karate moves sometimes.
Yep.
A lot of middle fingers. I don't know. Maybe dangle a Twinkie off the end of the drone and just like keep zip.
Yeah. It's a fun one.
It's pretty fun.
Don't play the videos because they score them to music, Bob.
Yeah.
They score them to like I Believe I Can Fly by like R. Kelly and shit like that. Yeah.
There's a couple in there that are extremely funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a TikTok as well.
Oh, yeah. Huge
Yeah.
TikTok.
Very highly agitated bums being harassed by some asshole in it with a drone.
It's weird that bums don't like drones.
They don't probably know what it is, I guess.
I mean, the old bum trope was like they think they like the CIA put a tooth in them, like replace one of their teeth with a radio or something like
Which
that.
is true.
Yeah.
Which is true.
So this is just a new thing.
Poor
look at that.
MK Ultra.
Look at him.
guy.
Look at him.
I like how he thinks he can throw the jacket that high to knock the drone out of the sky, and then he just gives up.
He should fucking buzz the tower like Tom Cruise. Look at this. Oh, this is a good one too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
Homeboy
looks
here.
like Fat Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. Hey, get out of here, guys.
How's he this fat?
That's a grown-up Eric Cartman right there.
But he also has a six-pack.
Well, it's a keg.
Strange, dude. Strange
I
to
think
see.
that's actually just the fat rolls on his tum-tum.
He's got
Pulling out his dick?
the Fetterman
Oh, he's pretending. He's
shirt.
pretending like he's got.
Oh, he's got a
gun.
gat. No, he's pretending he's got a gat.
Hey, do you see these? You see these
Man,
basketball shorts?
I'll blow you out of the sky, motherfucker.
Does he not look like fat Mike Smith?
He sure does. Look at
Fuck
that.
you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fuck yous. He's got the Fetterman shorts on.
I feel like he's a little.
Oh, this guy, he's been bothering this guy a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy's a little large to be homeless.
Well, and he keeps going to different cities.
He may not even be this guy.
I don't think
Oh,
this
he's
guy-
got a machete.
This guy's not homeless.
No, he's just some fat dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean, he's a bum, just not the kind we're talking about.
Yeah.
Big fan of this.
huge. Go and check it out if you haven't already. Next up, we go to the Drinkin' Bros store. We got all of our merch in there, stocked all the way up, dude. We got the hoodies in there for fall, because for a lot of people around the country, it is fall. Not for us. We're still wearing short sleeves. Pop that up on screen there, Bob. All the things are in the store. New hoodies, new long sleeves, all of it, dude. Automatic. Boom, right there. That's in the store. The snapback flex fits are in there. I'm wearing one right now. Big fan of all the new merch in the store. And we're doing a deal with Thigh Huggers now. And those will be out soon. But the glassware, the hats, we got a ton of options in there. And the beauty of it is the money just goes to us and it supports the show.
That's right, yeah.
No one else. No one else. It just goes to us. Next up, where's Jackie? Joseph Biden, senior citizen and Alzheimer's patient, forgot about the death of Indiana Representative Jackie Walorski while at an event Wednesday, repeatedly searching the crowd for her and calling her name while on stage.
I mean, you can understand it because it was an entire month ago.
Sure can. But somebody should have briefed him. Do you got that? You got that footage there, Bob? We can pop it up on screen. Because the new one was Kamala this morning.
Wait to play it because this is at an appearance at the White House conference on hunger, nutrition, health, and she's one of the primary people who were pushing the legislation, right?
Correct. And she died in that car accident we talked about.
Yeah,
on the
about a month
news.
ago. Her and two of her staffers. I
Mm-hmm.
think something happened and she got hit head on or something. But
Yeah.
he was trying to give her a shout out for her role in organizing the event. Apparently, when you're at his age, it's hard to keep up with all the people around you that are dying.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that seems accurate.
Yeah.
But he's not in a nursing home. He's in the fucking White House, Bob. And that's the goddamn problem. This dude is fucking wandering around, shaking hands with invisible people and doesn't remember people that died recently.
Yeah. And that's fine for us because we're podcast hosts, right? So who gives a shit? We're not running the goddamn country like this fucking asshole. Play this clip here, Bob, if you can. Be great.
Jackie, you here? Where's Jackie? I don't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
I mean, honestly, maybe it's one of the fucking body doubles.
Oh, for Biden?
And they didn't brief the body double on this. Like, he didn't have that on his cue cards.
Or one of his staffers told him that they were going to dig her up and then actually roll the body on stage. Like,
I mean,
I'm not sure which is which.
Yeah, that would have been fun. to be honest. Weekend at Bernie's her. To make it worse, the following day, a reporter tried to ask the White House press secretary, John Benet Ramsey, or whatever her name is,
JBR,
about the alarming frequency at which he was forgetting shit. And she was just like, it's not your turn to talk.
Yeah.
And then ask somebody else for their question.
Yep.
Although the reporter was kind of rude and kept trying to shout over her afterwards. But at first, it was like, okay, you looked at me, I'm going to ask my question. I don't like that question. It's his turn to talk now.
Yeah, and Bob, go ahead and Google or on Twitter, just type in Kamala Harris this morning. That was the other fun one from today.
The North Korea thing?
Yeah, where they're like, hey, if you're worried about him being in there and fucking shit up, she's not any better. You go to South Korea, and you know that you can't say we got a sweet relationship.
The People's Republic of Korea, the PRK, right?
There we go. You can play this clip, Bob, for us here.
States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
Yep.
Can I tell you that that's not actually the most egregious part of that sentence?
What is it?
The most egregious part is that she just is like, we have a friendship, which is an alliance. It's just bad writing.
Well,
right? Like you just need to shove that in there.
I don't think she's going on script, and I think same with him. I think where all these gaffes are coming from is when they go off book, when they go off script, and that's where this is happening.
Yeah, like that. It just sounds dumb. Like North Korea, I can even just be like, maybe she's out in North Korea, whatever. But like that lead up to that is so bad. Like just so like, did you need to, like, could you not fill 5 minutes? Like you needed it's like writing a paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like the United States of America, which is a nation.
It's 1,000 words, and you only have 600, and you're like, dot, dot, dot.
It's fucking like,
it's a
what the
nation.
fuck is that?
50 states. They're all connected. They all, and you're like, holy shit. The other thing, too, is like she's starting to wear the aviators like Joe Biden. So it's almost like they're becoming the same person. Which, if you're going to
they say that about
them,
people.
You're fine.
They say that about people and their pets. Like your pet will take on the traits that you have. If you're lazy and you just hang out on the couch all the time, then the dog will just sleep all day. But if you're active, the dog will be more active.
Yeah.
I guess if you hang out with somebody every day that has Alzheimer's, you just start forgetting shit.
Probably.
Maybe it's osmosis. You never know.
Could be. Last story of the day here. Nord Stream 1 and 2 are leaking. Western nations have said leaks in 2 Russian gas pipelines, Nord Stream 1 and 2, are likely the result of sabotage. You don't say. D'Anthony, you don't say.
Yeah.
On Monday, leaks were discovered in the pipeline, prompting investigations by European authorities that determined powerful underwater explosions had occurred just before the pipelines burst in several places. The pipelines were created to funnel gas from Russia into the European Union and were controversial long before Russia waged war on Ukraine, largely because of fears around European reliance on Russian energy. What do you think is going to happen now, D'Anthony?
Well, I don't know what has happened.
With this?
Yeah, to be honest. What everybody's blaming everybody else. There's no... I can't think of a smart reason why Putin would have done this or had it done. Not to say he didn't, but doesn't make a lot of sense.
To me, it does. And I'll tell you why. The more and more that you can say, oh my God, this was an accident, this is fucked up, the more and more it forces every other country that needs their fucking gas to rely on Russia and then help out, or just to flex and say, by the way, don't forget, you still need us. You still need all these pipelines. You need all this shit, or you're not getting any energy.
Yeah, but the pipelines, I don't think were being used, right? They've already been shut down.
I don't think so.
I don't think Russia. I don't think the EU was currently using it. It was just gas in there that was left over. From
got it. Okay.
But you know, I guess you could say it's like a mafia trick where it's like, oh, it'd be terrible if something bad happened. Like, you know, a protection racket. But Russia, as I told you, they would have basically declared victory and annexed the eastern side of the country. and they will now pull all of their forces back there and defend those areas, install new governments, and so on and so forth. There is some thinking that Russia may have sabotaged the pipelines so they don't get sued in international court later on for refusing to give energy, right, to people, which is something that can happen.
Okay.
But, yeah, Russia shut off the gas flows to the first pipeline a few weeks ago, and the second one was scrapped by Germany after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So the second pipeline had been shut down for however long this has been going on. Nord Stream 1 got shut down, 3 weeks ago, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, beginning of September.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Swedish Prime Minister said that it was a deliberate action. I don't know that they know that for sure, but there was 3 explosions, I think.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they started rapidly, like 12 minutes later, they started rapidly losing pressure in the pipes. A lot of folks think it was Russia.
I do.
It probably was.
Yeah.
It just, if they did that, that's fucking dumb.
That's why I said I'm not surprised. Like I think it's Russia, but I mean that's just my guess. Because it is that dumb.
Well,
it reminds me of an old Sopranos thing where it's just like, all right, great.
Yeah, but I don't know why you would do it right now, because you leave those things alone, and you take the eastern part of Ukraine, and Europe has just got to eat it, because they've already backed themselves into a corner. That Europe is not going back to Saudi Arabia to get shit like we will. So they've kind of backed themselves into a corner, particularly Germany, who shut down most of their nuclear reactors. I think they got 1 left for the entire country now. They're fucked. And keep in mind that it's been Europe self-sabotaging its energy over the past 3 or 4 years. Not anybody else fucking with them. It's just been Europe self-sabotaging in that front. So the idea that some other intelligence agency of a European country would have done something like this to force somebody's hand or do something, who the fuck knows, man? I just think it's nobody got hurt. The pipes, whomever did it waited until they weren't distributing fuel to Europe anymore, right? So it is kind of like dropping a bomb on a weapons depot that doesn't have any human beings at it. Just a show of force kind of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe what makes you think that's not the European Union telling Russia that I can just blow up your fucking fuel whenever I want? You know
Well,
what I mean? Why is it more likely that Russia did it than for their reasons than the European Union or somebody else, or the U.S. even did it for that reason?
So the U.S. would be that I would understand, although that would probably cause a world war due to what's going on in Ukraine. You don't think so?
No.
Because the other part of this with Europe, look, you need to get off Russia's tit anyways, but you can't right now. So I don't think they would do it because.
Well, they haven't been buying fuel from Russia. At least not from those 2 major pipelines.
Okay.
Since this shit began, I think, or at least not from pipeline 2. I don't know what the difference is between the 2, but yeah, maybe. These guys are. This is all extremely stupid.
Yeah.
Like it does, that move doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe it will 6 months from now, but right now it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. It's like you're drawing unnecessary attention. If you're Russia, you've already got Europe bent over a barrel, literally. Like they can't quit you. So why do that to threaten them more when you're already doing kinetic military operations in another country that they're pissed off about? It doesn't make any sense to double down on that.
I think it's just a show of force. Like, hey, dude, if things go bad, we could fuck shit up.
A smarter thing to do would be just to fucking hang out in the cut a little bit, solidify your position in the east side of Ukraine, and then finally capitulate, let UN inspectors come in and do a real election, but no election in Russia is real. But do a real election and be like, hey, it turns out the people did want this and blah, 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 and then the West has just got to eat it.
Yeah.
That's the smart way to handle this.
We got a late-breaking story here that we'll actually end with. I know I said we was going to end with the last one, but now shit is going to get fun. This is something that I talked about 6 months ago. So you got this Twitter trial that's coming up for Elon Musk. Some private texts between him and Jack Dorsey have leaked to the press here, and he says, "I trust you." I'm going to read some of these text message exchanges back and forth. So this was Jack Dorsey. His initial text to Elon Musk about Twitter reportedly said, "A new platform is needed. It can't be a company. That's why I left." And then Musk replied, "Well, what should it look like?" And then Jack Dorsey replied, "It should become an open source protocol that looks a bit like what Signal has done." Now, I don't use Signal that much. What does that platform look like?
It just has peer-to-peer encryption, so it's relatively it's more or less secure.
Okay. Jack Dorsey also went on to say that the platform can't have an advertising model, which is the central business model of all these social media ad companies. This is awful news if you own stock in Twitter, because we've always said, how the fuck do you monetize this? How do you monetize Twitter? They haven't been successful at it. You don't know how many bots are there already. And I think that you're also going to find this out in this trial. What's the rest of that, Bob, up there? Can you read that last part there from Jack Dorsey?
If it has a centralized entity behind it, it will be attacked. This is not complicated work. It just has to be done right so it's resilient to what has happened to Twitter. Elon Musk says, super interesting idea. And then Dorsey says, "I'm off the Twitter board in mid-May and then completely out of the company. I intend to do this work and fix our mistakes. Twitter started as a protocol. It should have never been a company. That was the original sin." And Musk said, "I'd like to help if I'm able to."
I always knew these two fucks were in cahoots, and I like it. I like shit like this. I can't wait for this to keep going, because this is, if they have these texts, and I think they were leaked, this is from the courtroom during this trial. This is all part of the discovery process on all these lawsuits, and the more and more this shit comes out, the worse and worse it's going to be for Twitter. I want to know the bot number, and I think you'll get to that too as this trial goes on, and I'm amped about it. What were you going to say, Bob?
Dorsey went on to say, "I tried my hardest to get you on our board, and our board said no. That's about the time I decided I needed to work to leave, as hard as it was for me."
This Dorsey might be in a little bit of trouble for all that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Oh, a lot.
But notice that he's super magnanimous and empathetic to the cause now that he's cashed out $4 fucking billion. Like, oh, super nice of you, bud. Good job. He waited until he became so wealthy he could never spend the money, and then he's like, "Oh man, I better do something nice." Like, fuck off, Jack Dorsey, with your stupid fucking goatee.
Do you think he waited, or do you think he was just fighting an uphill battle that he couldn't win and was just like, "I get the fuck out of here"?
Well, at the end, certainly, yeah.
Because I remember that speech he made. It was a weird fucking video when he was talking about the removal of Trump and whether or not that should have happened at all either. And it looked like a guy who had just created this monster that was out of control, and he had no way to stop it anymore.
Yeah, he's Frankenstein.
Yeah, I feel like the documentary about this guy in 5 years is going to be incredible, because I think, I genuinely think he didn't invent Twitter to be what it has certainly become. That's just a guess.
Maybe not, but, you know, for a guy to create something like that and not see where it's headed, I don't believe you.
I mean, do you remember Twitter in 2008, though? Even in, like, 2012? It was fun.
It was.
It was people just, like, the people who made Twitter popular at first were like Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
But you could
jokes. But you could tell jokes back then.
Yeah, you could. It was just fun and happy. And
the Obama campaign used Twitter to win both the 2008 and 2012 election.
Yes.
Right. And
in a smart, by the way, in a smart way.
Yeah.
And that's what you should do. They had a way better social media team than the Republicans back then.
And then once Trump did it, now it's an assault on democracy.
Right. And that's what happened with the rest of comedy and the rest of the world. And then suddenly everything on Twitter, whatever you say, right or left, you're getting fucking buried for. Whatever story you're getting buried for, all of it. And yeah, I don't know that that's what he thought, because I look at Meta the same way with this metaverse that's going on, and they're hemorrhaging money. Homeboy lost $80 billion so far on this stupid thing. He clearly thought that was the future, because maybe Facebook would falter, which it is. You know,
he's right. It is. Meta is the future.
You still think so?
Oh, yeah.
I don't, because I think it's too janky looking.
You're looking at the GUI, the general user interface. That doesn't matter. Forget about that.
All right.
Think about the tech and how it can be manipulated. Like the way it looks in tech, that doesn't matter at first. We started out with fucking like 4-bit video games. Actually, we started out with 2-bit video games.
We did, but can your shareholders and your investors stay on board with that for 30 years?
I don't think it matters as much as you think it does. The 2 most popular video games in the world right now are Roblox and Minecraft. And those
are like 16-bit games.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Roblox is.
And that's why I had to come back in, because Ross brings this up all the time. This is not made. It's made to be run light. It's the hardware company when they acquired Oculus that's so important. They've rebranded all the Oculus. Oculus is gone. They're about to release another new headset that's even lighter with longer battery life and new material technology.
But even that is just like a fucking baby step. Like once we reach better storage and quantum computing, then it'll look good as well. But getting it to perform correctly and getting people used to existing inside of that metaverse is what's important now. That's all that matters.
I guess so, but if nobody's using it, how do you keep it afloat?
Get kids to use it. And by the time you're ready to go to market with your fucking upgraded computer systems in 15 years, and now they're fucking spending money.
I wouldn't put
VR
one of those things on.
are very well. Like,
do you know
the orders of them? It's large.
They're doing pretty well. And do you know how long the personal computer was available before people actually owned them?
No,
like 15 years. You know what I mean? Before I think, God, I can't remember what year it was, but up until like 1981 or 82, only like 65,000 people owned personal computers of any kind. And most of them were like people that worked in finance or on Wall Street or were writers or something that needed that kind of stuff. And then everybody told fucking Bill Gates, people are never going to buy a computer for their home, ever. Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. And that's why IBM basically let him take Microsoft and walk right out the fucking door with it for like $6,000 or some shit.
I don't know if Meta's the one to do it, though. I think it's going to be another company.
It could be another company, but the tech itself is going to be there.
Yeah, we'll see. Now's the point of the show. We get to the Drinkin' Bro of the week. Again, our studio is open. Anyone is welcome to come on in and enjoy an afternoon of watching podcasts, drinking hard AF seltzers, getting wasted. And now you can buy some, too, if you roll in for super fucking cheap, same as in a goddamn grocery store. We've got 80,000 cans. It's the fucked up ones. It's almost like owning an NFT that you can drink and get fucked up on in real life. Come on up. Come on up, friend. There you go. Circle around the back there. Join us on D'Anthony's chair here. You guys have been getting rocked off hard AF seltzers all day. We've been going light this week. We went hard in Nashville, so we're taking a week off from drinking.
Kind of figured.
Yeah. Taking a week off from drinking, maybe 2. Gotta get it back together here. Tell everybody your name.
I am Dalton Cagle from Utah.
Named after Dalton from Roadhouse?
Yes, named after Dalton
Is that real?
from Roadhouse. Yep. My parents were watching the movie, and my mom was
During
pregnant.
conception?
Yep. Well, I don't know conception, but pregnancy.
But I would ask.
I mean, my dad showed me where I was conceived, so I don't need to know that much.
He did?
But yeah, he drove me out to the mountains.
Was it in a car?
They were hunting.
Oh, they were hunting. What a rad shit out talk. Yeah.
Super Utah.
Did they kill anything?
I'm not sure. I didn't want to venture that far into it.
You got to know the details. After the show's over, give me your father's number. We'll get him on air and really figure this out.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So you're in Utah, you said?
Yep, Utah, out of Salt Lake.
How do you like it?
It's all right. It's kind of hot and dry, but
hot and dry?
Yeah.
No. Every time I've been there, I'm freezing my dick off.
I love the winter.
Up there?
Yeah. I work construction, so
got it.
Nice and cool during the winter.
No, I understand.
During the summer, you just die.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's great.
Of course. Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the week to?
First of all, my sister for bringing me out here.
That's
Haley.
your sister?
Yeah, that's my sister.
Oh shit! I thought you guys were dating.
Nope, that's my sister.
I apologize.
She brought me out here just to come and hang out and do that stuff. But number 2 Drinkin' Bro is my buddy Spencer Martinez.
Okay.
He was in the military for 10 years. He didn't introduce me to the show or anything, but when I was going through my divorce and everything, he helped me with everything, helped me move into his house for a while, and he's been a real Drinkin' Bro. So he's my drinking bro of the week.
That's awesome. Cheers.
Yeah.
You're young though.
Yeah, I'm 28.
And you're already divorced.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's what happens when you live in Utah and you get married at 23 or whatever.
Was it a Mormon sitch?
No.
Are you Mormon?
I was when I was like younger.
Okay.
And then as soon as I hit 18, I kind of just split apart from everything. But
Yeah. That's a weird place for dating up there. So like Black Rifle Coffee's out of there. And Jared and all those guys just talk about it all the time. They're like, man, it's fucking, the girls here are weird as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
That's
are.
true?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
weird. Yeah.
All right. Because I would just roll into town for a couple of days and then bounce. Like I never checked out the city really.
It's a nice place to live, but yeah, the women are kind of weird.
Yeah. And housing prices were getting up there. I remember when Matt was building his house and Rocco bought up there.
Yeah.
Rocco's got a house there too. And he was like, hey, man, do you know how much these fucking houses are in Utah? I was like, no way,
They're still
dude.
pretty expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, the house next to my buddy's house just sold for like $700,000.
I was going to say, most of them were going for about $750, yeah.
That's out in Eagle Mountain, out in the kind of the rural area. So
Post Malone's up there.
Yep, I know where his house is.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. So I do electrical, so I've built like a bunch of
his
high-end houses. Not his particular, but I built Mitt Romney's house and his son's
no
house.
shit.
Yeah.
How is he? Boring as shit?
Yeah, pretty boring as shit. He's weird. Like I wired his switches and then we had to move them all because he wanted them down low so we didn't have to pick his hand up to turn the light switch on. So all of his switches are down lower. Yeah.
Than a normal house?
Yep, than a normal house. Normal houses, they're about 48 inches to the top of the box.
Yeah,
His were like 30-something. They were all lower, so he didn't have to pick up his arm to...
Is he short?
He's kind of short, yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
What a fucking bizarre story,
just
dude.
Didn't want to lift up his hand.
When you go to like a Mitt Romney's house, do you ever just want to take a shit in there just to say, hey, I took a shit in Mitt Romney's house?
I mean, he's kind of a piece of shit, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the, like, there's certain celebrities where you're just like, I'm sure you've done some more gigs where you're just like, man, fuck this person, dude. I'm going to take a shit in there.
Yeah.
I just want to say I did it.
Yeah, I wish I could have, but...
I did that back in the day. I had to work this fucking party in LA where I was a bartender at this party for Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
And her manager was such an asshole, this guy. Benny Medina is his name. I don't know if that's the same dude or whatever, but they brought this bottle of wine and they're like, Jennifer's coming. It's for this dinner party with Jennifer and it's amazing. So I was like, all right, cool. And I popped open the cork and I was getting ready to serve it. He's like, you gotta let it breathe. For like 20 minutes, you gotta let this fucking wine
drink
breathe.
it yet. Calm down.
Yeah, and they were such dicks about it. Grabbed my arm, which was, never real stoked about that.
Yeah.
As soon as that fucker turned around the corner, just took a huge gulp out of it. Right out of the bottle, a $1,500 bottle of wine. I was like, fuck these people. So that's why I say that about Mitt Romney, where I was like, dude, to get a request that odd, you're probably like, man, you deserve for me to take a grumpy in your toilet.
Yeah, I think he was super LDS. So no wine rooms or anything, but I've definitely done some big giant wine rooms for houses and custom homes and stuff. Yeah, I used to do a lot of custom homes, so up in like Deer Valley, up in Utah, up in Park City.
Oh yeah. Beautiful houses up there.
Oh
by the way.
Very beautiful.
Yeah,
we did this 40,000 square foot house up there, and took like 4 years to finish. But
no shit,
we had like a freaking 900 square foot wine room in there.
Did you ever find out who it was?
No,
because you're always curious when it's that big.
Nobody
and that dollar
like
amount. You're like, it's got to be
anything.
somebody, right?
No, it's like somebody from Connecticut or something. But
okay,
yeah,
all right,
it was crazy. Nice house, but it sucked to build.
Yeah, I bet. Mitt Romney switches, dude.
Yeah,
that's fucking wild.
It's got a 2-story closet.
A 2-story closet?
Yeah.
What does it have?
Stairway right in the middle.
Shut up.
Yep.
In his house?
Yep, in his house.
Why?
His wife's is like just a giant square, and then the staircase in the middle to go up to his. Yeah, I don't know why yet.
That makes zero sense to me.
No sense.
And those guys have $1 gajillion. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, yeah.
What a weird guy. No wonder he didn't win.
Very weird.
Fuck him, dude.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
I'm not a fan of Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of you. Thanks for coming by.
Well, no problem, man. Anytime.
I hope you and your sister had fun today.
Oh, yeah. We had a blast.
You bought some seltzer. You raged, got rocked. You're taking a couple cases home with you.
Oh, yeah.
And we greatly appreciate it, man. And again, if you're out there, just pop on into the studio. The signs will be up the first week of October, so you'll see it from the highway. Right now, we still have the church sign. People are saying, like, hey, dude, just leave the fucking church sign, the Freedom Temple church sign.
Freedom Temple, man.
People are sharing that in Drinkin' Bros, and I'm like, Maybe we'll just give it away or something. But yeah,
just sign it and raffle it off.
Yeah, just hey, take it. It's fun. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Promise you, that's all the advertisers care about. And we're getting close to 7,000 reviews on there. They wanted it 10. They're like, 10 would be awesome, man, to pitch your show. And I'm like, all right, I'll ask. Just leave a review. Go to Spotify and do the same thing. That's just a 5-star, and then you can leave. You don't have to write a review. You don't have to do anything. Just click a 5-star on your phone, and you are good to go. And then if you're watching on YouTube, click the bell. Subscribe to the show, like and comment and all that stuff. That'll help drive these numbers up as well. And then go in the back of your phone and slide over the notifications thing to get notifications from YouTube. That way you know when we are live. And the audio show goes out at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate you being here. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Fake News.